I'm Heribert Dieter and I'm Associate Fellow at the Center for the Study of Globalization and Regionalization of the World Economy. I primarily work on international trade and international finance, trying to understand these two areas of economic exchange in the global economy. Basically, I think this is what the economic dimension of globalization is all about, trade and finance, and I do research on those issues both here in Warwick and in Germany. Well, the Warwick Commission is trying to explore the current state of the multilateral trading regime, the problems we are facing. We're all aware that the Doha round is not progressing. We see a number of obstacles in the conclusion of that round, and we want to analyze these difficulties as well as think about solutions for the difficulties we have identified. At the same time, what we are witnessing is not just problems in the Doha round, but also the evolution of a competition to the multilateral trading regime in the form of bilateral and other preferential trade agreements. And this has already reached a scale where the multilateral regime is no longer as important as it used to be. A major point of concern that we will look at in the Warwick Commission. So we will try to find out why states are preferring those bilateral and unilateral trade agreements to the multilateral regime, because in economic terms it's relatively simple. It would be better if we would all adhere to the multilateral regime, but apparently this is not so interesting politically. So why are states doing that, and what could we do as an international community to stop countries undermining the multilateral regime, which has many faults, we're all aware of that, but which is still the best forum for organizing international trade. It's a bit like democracy. It might have quite a few faults, but there is no convincing replacement for the multilateral regime. And I think we will in the coming months try to come up with with solutions that can be implemented by the international community. We bring together academics from various fields, and not just quote-unquote economists and political scientists, but also academics specialized in international law. So we get basically the whole spectrum of disciplines that are necessary to understand this complex process of negotiating and implementing an international agreement. In order to avoid that the academics get carried away with their problem-solving proposals, we thought it's a very good idea to bring in people that have been negotiating in the past, that have had high profile, that know how international relations work. Former Foreign Minister of Canada, as well as high-ranking officials from the European Commission. So this idea of bringing together academics and practitioners is based on the assumption that each of them has a certain strength, each of them brings in a certain perspective that we want to have represented in the Commission, and well, we hope that the outcome will be pragmatic yet solidly founded in academic work. What we have is a good representation of countries, of regions, of continents. We have a good representation of disciplines, as I already said, and we are not too many. So if you would have too many people, I think it would be difficult to reach a document in consensus at the end of the endeavor, which we want to do this year. So it sounds like a lot of time, but if you look down at the work program that we have ahead of us, it is not that much time. So the limited number of people is a bonus, and I'm confident that it will work. Warwick University has been establishing itself as a leading center for research on global economic issues in the past. Warwick has almost 10 years now had a center for the study of globalization and regionalization of the world economy, and has been very successful in that endeavor, bringing together various disciplines, not always easy, but always interesting and fruitful. And Warwick has also been leading a major endeavor in pan-European research, the Garnet network, which is a network of excellence funded by the European Commission, bringing together around 20 countries and around 40 institutions from those countries. So Warwick has a comparative advantage in that field already, and I think it's a very good initiative to look at one of the most pressing problems that we currently have in global economic governance, and to bring together a high-profile group of people from all over the world. I think this is appropriate and fits Warwick's profile. What we hope to achieve is to raise awareness for the issues that are at stake, to raise awareness that there's something to be lost, to raise awareness for the potential negative consequences of a breaking up of the multilateral trading regime into regional regimes. It doesn't seem to be too far-fetched to remind the global community, if you permit that expression, that we have had a breakup of multilateral order in the 1930s, and that there is a link between cooperating, trading with each other, and international peace. I think is by now well established, and we would like to raise awareness for that. One should not be under the illusion that a report, even if it's a very good one, could change the global economy and the governance of the global economy overnight. We are confronted in one of the most important countries in the United States with a rather hostile Congress, hostile towards the idea of free trade. Protectionism is on the rise, not just in the United States, but in many other developed countries, and this is a time where we may stand at a watershed for the future of the global economy, for globalization as a broader kind of process, and we are under no illusion that this process has been problematic in the past, that free trade has had, or relatively free trade has had negative consequences for many. Nevertheless, and I can only speak here in my personal capacity, I would also like to point out that there have been quite a few positive aspects of a deeper international division of labor, and this is at risk, and we would like to underline that there's something at risk, and that we should carefully think about turning the shoulder to the multilateral trading regime. It is an asset that took a long time to develop and might be easily lost.